All right, so welcome back, everyone. You know we love a good AI deep dive, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Always exciting to see what's new.
Especially these days, right? I mean, things are moving so fast. And today we're looking at something that really kind of caught my eye. ChatGPT, of course, everyone knows ChatGPT.
Yeah, a lot of people are using it too.
Exactly, but there's this new AI model that's making waves called DeepSeek.
DeepSeek, yeah.
And we're going to be looking at this podcast episode called DeepSeek versus ChatGPT, a comparative analysis of AI titans. And
Catchy title.
Yeah, catchy title, right? And we're going to be looking at it because DeepSeek is getting similar results to ChatGPT, but they're doing it with like way less resources. And that's what I find fascinating.
It is. It's really interesting to see how they're achieving these results.
Yeah.
DeepSeek was developed by this Chinese startup.
Okay.
It was brand new on the scene. And, ChatGPT's been around for a little while now, developed by OpenAI.
Right, very established, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see this new company come out and just like, boom.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how much they did with so little. I mean, 2,000 GPUs for 55 days. That's all it took to train their model. And they only spent like $5.58 million.
Which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things is...
Peanuts?
Yeah, it's peanuts,
It is.
for AI development. I mean,
especially when you think about what goes into something like ChatGPT.
right, exactly.
Oh.
It makes you wonder, what are they doing differently?
Right. Are they cutting corners or are they just that much more efficient?
Yeah, and I think that's what's like really exciting about it is that, they're able to achieve these results with such limited resources, relatively speaking.
Yeah, and it seems like they're really pushing the boundaries with their approach to training data and the algorithms they're using.
Like, is there like a secret sauce in there that they're using to be able to do that much with that little...
Right, maybe they've found some, shortcut in the training process or a new way to optimize things.
Yeah, and it's working because in benchmarks, it's right up there with ChatGPT. Like, it can do the natural language processing.
Yep.
It can answer questions, solve logic problems.
Yeah, and code generation too. I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
Which is crazy because, I mean, you think about, we just said OpenAI, so well established. They have a ton of resources. They probably have way more than 2,000 GPUs.
Probably more than that, yeah.
And this company comes out and like competes with them right out of the gate.
Yeah, head to head. It's really shaken things up in the industry.
I mean, I remember right when DeepSeek was released, NVIDIA's stock dipped with it 17-18%.
Something like that, yeah.
Which is wild because they made GPUs.
They do.
And you would think like, oh, this is going to be good for them. More people need more GPUs.
Right.
But I guess the thinking was, oh no, now
Technology's getting more efficient.
you don't need to buy as many.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just NVIDIA. I mean, even like Microsoft and Alphabet, they felt it too.
Yeah, anyone invested in AI was probably watching DeepSeek pretty closely.
And I mean, they called it, I think it was in this podcast, they called it a Sputnik moment.
Yeah.
For American AI.
Sputnik. Yeah.
Which I mean, that's a pretty bold statement.
It is, but I can see why they're saying that. It's like this sign that China's really catching up in the AI race.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, America's been leading the pack for a while, but now China's right there on their heels.
Yeah, and I think the Sputnik analogy is interesting because it really does feel like there's this kind of competition heating up.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not just about, who can build the best AI, but also about, what are the implications of this technology?
Right, who controls it?
Yeah, who controls it, who has access to it.
Yeah, and how will it be used?
And that's where DeepSeek, I think, gets really interesting, is that they're open source.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, means that anyone can use their code, modify their code, build upon their code.
It's like they're giving away the recipe for anyone to, try it out, tweak it, make their own versions.
Which is completely different from what we're seeing from a lot of U.S. companies.
Right. Most of them are keeping their AI models very close to the vest.
Yeah, top secret, proprietary, all that.
Yeah, but DeepSeek's approach is like, hey, let's democratize this technology, let's share it with the world.
Yeah, so, I mean, do you think this will change the landscape of AI development? I mean, is this going to, like, usher in a new era of collaboration?
I think it has the potential to... I mean, imagine if more companies followed DeepSeek's lead.
Yeah.
We could see a much faster pace of innovation and maybe even a more level playing field.
Right, because now it's not just about who has the most money to throw at these giant AI models.
Exactly.
But it's about, who has the best ideas, who can collaborate the most effectively.
Right, and that could open up the field to a lot more players.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things that this podcast talked about was how this could really benefit regions like Europe.
Yeah, they've been kind of lagging behind in the AI race. But with open source models like DeepSeek, they could really get a boost.
Right, because now they don't have to start from scratch. They can take what DeepSeek's done and run with it,
Exactly. And that could lead to some really interesting developments.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is kind of a scary thought, though, too, because if everyone has access to this technology, I mean...
There's always the potential for misuse.
Right. There's the ethical considerations.
Yeah. Things like data privacy, security.
Bias in the data.
Exactly. All those things become even more important when AI is so widely accessible.
Right. And I think that's something we need to be thinking about, as this technology advances. We have to be very mindful of the ethical implications.
Absolutely. It's not just about the cool things AI can do, but also about the responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah, and making sure that it's used for good.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's really fascinating to think about the future of AI, with DeepSeek now in the mix, competing with ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's like the AI landscape just got a whole lot more interesting.
It really did.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this podcast episode called it this is going to fuel innovation even further.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so.
Because now you have these two powerhouses kind of going head to head.
Yeah.
And they're going to push each other to be better.
Yeah, competition breeds innovation, right?
Right. And that's good for everyone, ultimately, because it means that we're going to see more advancements, more breakthroughs.
Yeah, and who knows what those breakthroughs will bring.
Yeah. I mean, if DeepSeek could do this much with comparatively little resources,
Right. Imagine what the next generation will be capable of.
Yeah, that's one. I'm wondering what happens when somebody figures out how to do it even better.
Or with even less.
Or with even less.
Yeah.
What happens then?
That's the exciting part. We don't know.
We don't know, and that's why we got to keep our eyes on, this is a rapidly changing field.
Definitely.
And if anything, this deep dive shows us that things can change really quickly.
Yeah, what seems impossible today might be commonplace tomorrow. So true. And if DeepSeek has taught us anything, it's that you don't need to be a giant corporation to make a big impact in AI.
Yeah, you just need a good idea and the drive to make it happen.
So to everyone listening, stay curious, keep exploring, and maybe you'll be the one to come up with the next big breakthrough in AI. Who knows?
The future is wide open.
It is, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Exactly.
So until next time, keep on learning.
And innovating.